the lessons of the martial law period is to be distributed through the DepEd as well as the CHED, and assisting the overall curation of the memorial would be the NCCA, and in the archives, the University Librarian of the UP Diliman campus. For 2026, these are the mandates that we'd like to do, is to start the Freedom Memorial Museum construction and development, run some of our human rights education programs, look after our archives and compendium. We have more than 1 million separate documents in our archive, do some commemoration and recognition initiatives, and as well as beef up the organization of the Memorial Commission. In terms of size, we are one of the smallest government agencies. Our plantilla that was provided by DBM only comprised of 30 people, sir. Next slide, please. So in terms of budget, in the NEP, this is what was provided, only 64,770,000 pesos. In terms of classification, RPS has a 31% increase, since basically we have fulfilled filling up all of the 30 positions except for the museum curator. If I look at the 2025 and 2026, the DBM, seeing our progress over the years, has provided us a 14% increase from the GAA of 2025. The budget allocation since 2024, it's just for purposes of showing, we were allocated in 2020, 46 million, and as you know, over the years, as we had more people in, we were able to bring it up to certain levels that by 2024, our disbursement versus obligation is now at 91%. So our efficiency has greatly increased. This is a financial performance, and that we're showing from the current, our disbursement versus obligation for the first semester of 2025 is now at 98%. Next slide. We do have a trust fund, and the trust fund comes from RA 10668, wherein a portion of the 10 billion fund for reparations would comprise some trust fund, and the latest from the Bureau of the Treasury shows that we do have a trust fund of 597 million thereof, in order to build the Freedom Memorial Museum. These are some of the items we are doing without the physical museum set in place over the 1.4 hectares in UP Diliman campus beside the Fine Arts Building and fronting shed. We have a mobile gallery, and this mobile gallery moves to certain schools and institutions while we're waiting for the construction of our big memorial museum. So we do have also a booklets and information education material which we produce and distribute to different institutions. We have been unable, on the other hand, to enter the curriculum of the DepEd as well as the CHED, so that the lessons of this period could be part of their official textbooks. We have not been successful in that regard. Nevertheless, we have been producing materials which some of the DepEd schools and some of the state universities have also used in order to provide instruction to their students. We were able to launch in 2024 a Freedom Memorial Museum Gallery, and at that time this was opened by the late Congressman Edsel Lagman, himself a survivor of that period. It is operational, it is open to the public. It's a modest gallery And we do invite the senator and his staff to visit it when it is convenient and he is free. The details of 2024 include our gender focus as well in highlighting the contributions of the women who struggled and survived the martial law period. We do have film screenings as well, and we had one in Iloilo, and we're trying to move outside of the NCR so that we're not NCR focused alone. We're impeded by travel budgetary limitations, but nevertheless, when we do go out of the NCR, we are there's a hunger for this kind of information. These are some of the things that we have done that's going mainstream. The Histo-X is an exhibition of all those persons. And in our exhibition at the Gateway Mall here in Quezon City, it was open to the public, and we were one of the stalls which attracted close to thousands of visitors. The introduction of our material to mainstream malls seems to be a good strategy for informing more people about the period that we are mandated to focus on. We do have some primary research, and our primary research brought us to Sultan Kudarat, where in the Takbil Mosque in Malisbong, we find one of the most horrific massacres that occurred in 1974. And by recognizing that and having the BARM later on recognize the efforts of memorialization, it has now entered into the official calendar of the BARM for this event that happened, which is a wound that our Muslim brothers and sisters bear. What we found out is when a national government agency recognizes that these things happen, the pace for healing actually quickens, because now they feel that they have been part of our Philippine history and now recognized. Because for the last 40 years, they were out of any textbook in the mainstream libraries of our country. So for our human rights education, we had a 1% increase, and for the 2026, it will be in the amount of 7 million. So that is our brief presentation, Senator. Thank you.
Thank you, Edie. Maraming salamat. I'll go to some items in the budget. I'll start off with CHR. I noticed that the request is 2.1 billion.
Yes.
And then the proposed is 2.1 billion, and the NEP is 1.2. So what were the items that were not included? Are those the ones you showed earlier in top 10?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And if that's the case, what the items were included naman in that 1.2? Let's go to that muna, yung slide 4 nakita ko kanina. Top 10 priorities. These items were not included.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In your budget, no? And let's go muna to the items that were included. Kasi ito, almost kalahati ng budget ninyo hindi tinanggap eh. So, what programs were included in the 1.2?
In the 1.2, the programs include the 4 major mandates of the commission. So these are protection mandate, prevention mandate, policy advisory, and promotion mandates, Your Honor. So under the protection mandate, we conduct investigation these are regular activities of the office: investigation, forensic service, security protection, and other legal aid services. And in promotion mandate of the commission, we conduct we do this Human Rights Institute, where we conduct training seminars and activities for the promotion of human rights. For the prevention service, we conduct regular jail visits to scheduled jail visits to places of deprivation of liberty, as well as conduct anti-torture drive in these PODs. And in policy advisory, we issue position papers, advisories, situation reports, as well as engage with the different mechanisms, domestic as well as international human rights mechanisms.
So these are your core mandates.
Core mandates.
Mga core mandates. Yung mga, I would assume these are additional programs and projects, yun ang hindi
Yes.
napasok, no? But I also saw what was included also, some amounts in the financial assistance, I think 16 million out of the 16 million, but your request is 51 million, no? And then there's Human Rights Institute and Human Rights Awareness popularization activities. Okay. Itong mga this additional activities, nakita ko these are also maganda rin tong mga activities na ito. For example, itong financial assistance. I saw you have amounts in the NEP already, but you're requesting for 51. May I know how come you're requesting additional financial assistance?
Yes. The request is based on the insufficiency of budget, basically, Your Honor. There is an increase in the demand for the granting of the financial assistance in view of our engagement with the Department of Labor and Employment, as well as the Board of Claims, on granting financial assistance to victims of human rights violations. And then in the previous years, we were constrained to reduce the amount from the original rate of 30,000 to 10,000 per victim or per case, because we cannot sustain the program if we will maintain the 30,000 threshold, Your Honor.
Sino binibigyan nitong financial assistance?
These are either victims or families of victims of human rights violations.
Okay. These are in the financial assistance. What is the intention of the financial assistance? For food, or ano ba yung?
It's a recognition, Your Honor, that the victim, that there is a violation of the rights of the victim. It's sort of not a compensation, but more of a recognition, actually, of and in support of the victims.
Can you tap the funds of DSWD, yung mga AX program nila? Diba? Have you tapped into that? Because those are malaki yun, no?
Not yet, Your Honor. But we were trying to reach out to DSWD before, for purposes of the other services of the department, particularly on psychosocial services to victims of human rights violations.
Okay. The amount included in your budget, 16 million, but you estimate that you will need 51. But the 16, based on the number of victims, will it be enough or not enough?
It will not be enough, Your Honor.
So if it's not enough, what do you do?
We implement. We have guidelines on the grant of the financial assistance. So there's a ranking of the classification
Mm.
of the human rights violation